right as well, I suppose. All right. So what's going on with this lesson? Also, wait, maybe you could do a quick introduction. I know you, but a lot of people don't.
Oh yeah. What's up, guys? My tag's BirdPerson. I'm a SoCal Falco main. I've been playing, I guess, kind of on and off, but more on than off for the last I don't know, like late 2015, early 2016 is where I started. But gradually, I sort of played super casually when I started, and then started entering more tournaments like a couple years later. But yeah.
Yeah, chill. Okay, so what is the purpose of this lesson today? What's bothering you?
So I took a couple month break from playing a lot, and then I started playing more again recently. Mostly a lot of unranked, and I ran into a Peach player um, a while back, and I kind of realized that I just don't have a good I feel like I don't know what the hell I'm doing in that matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know.
Okay.
Like with most of the top tiers, I feel like I have some semblance of a game plan, and even if I don't know, if I'm even if I'm not you know, winning, I kind of have an idea of what to fix
Mm-hmm.
usually. But yeah, not versus Peach really.
Okay. So, what do you feel like happens to you in the matchup? Or, what are your thoughts, on how it goes?
Uh, so I think what I try to do is kind of all my openings come from short hop aerialing at her.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I know a lot of Peaches like to avoid that, so they either hold shield a lot, or they try to stuff it with dash attack, or they try to just float over the height where
Mm-hmm.
short hop aerials will hit it all. So I guess it's usually what I try to do is to stop that float, because that's the most annoying thing to me. I think is
Mm-hmm.
once she's floating, uh, where I can't easily hit her from the ground. It's I feel like it takes a huge commitment, and and then she just any hit she gets on me is worth way more than any hit I get on her in that position.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That makes sense. Alright, let's check it out. I will do a screen share for you. Let me know if it's working.
Yeah, I
Okay.
see it.
Okay, so you're not gonna be able to get this every time, obviously. But okay, so the first, let's see, there's a few ways I could start this. So the first one is you always want to watch Peach's aerial drift in her float. A lot of people who don't have a lot of Peach matchup experience don't do this, and it's basically like watching her, watching someone's aerial drift in general, or watching them dash dance. It's very important to watch Peach's float because she actually has to telegraph her momentum forward if she's moving forward. So right now you can see her floating forward. She's not holding back at all. It's just literally pure forward. So you kind of know what she's gonna do. She doesn't actually have she can't instantly move backwards. She has to drift and then slow down and then start moving backward if she was gonna move backward. So one thing here is you don't have to feel pressured to get out of her way. You can actually just get underneath her and up tilt. And it's really strong. She actually doesn't have a lot of answers for it. All she can do is kind of wait out the up tilt and then maybe try to fall and punish. But when she's at this height, and if you wave dash under up tilt, it's really, really hard for her to actually reactively punish it. And Peach doesn't have a Falco down air or anything. She doesn't have a lot of moves that hit right below her. So it's surprisingly good to do that.
Okay. Yeah, I think I realized what you were saying, kind of this is midway through the friendlies session on unranked, I guess, and then I kind of realized I could run through the center.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
But
I noticed you just run through it right here, and that's okay. But you can also go for an up tilt, and potentially because that's the most frustrating thing as Peach is when Falco is just chilling, and then you're trying to land on him somehow, and he's just ready to up tilt everything. Because even if you like fair into him and he up tilts, a lot of times the up tilt will just win because it has like a lot of vertical range. The other thing is you don't really want to go in with aerials like this on Peach, like to just go in. The biggest idea in this matchup is you want to lock Peach down. And so she has really bad sideways movement. And so like a very common strategy that works really well is you just sort of lock her down with lasers. Like the reason Peaches do this float up here to get around like your aerials and stuff, it's not actually like what Peach wants. Peach doesn't want to be up here. She wants to be on the ground. But if you make her life on the ground a living hell by just shooting lasers and like stuffing her over and over again, it's very frustrating. Like when she jumps, she can get lasered out of her full hop. If she's gonna dash dance, she'll get stopped by the laser out of her dash. It's very frustrating to be in that position as Peach because you feel like you don't have a lot of ways to move around. And what Falco does is he will get in this very miserable range, kind of just in front of you, like right here. And Falco just kind of sits here, and you can do like retreating down airs, and you can do more lasers and stuff like that. And Peach has to pretty much hard commit to ever try to hit you. So going for an aerial like this, without the lockdown first, it's like, you know, it's like naring, it's worse than naring in a Falco Ditto without laser control. Like a lot worse. Like just doing these raw aerials against Peach, it doesn't really have like a lot of value. And like again, in situations like this, I noticed that you're trying to get away. Like Peach does this float, and you start trying to run away. But you can just sorry, when you see a situation like this, you can just up tilt. Like right here, you can just up tilt. And it's a huge struggle for her. She doesn't have a lot of good answers.
Okay, yeah. I see. I think I like tried to up tilt the first time and then like messed up and kind of just like tried to reset, but
it's like the biggest thing for Peach here. It's very frustrating to deal with. And then yeah, so she'll get some combos. Okay, so you're doing this. This is okay, but the thing is like these dash dances don't do anything. Like why? Like what are these accomplishing? So you're doing like basically this whole sequence. So you laser, she shields the laser from across the whole stage, and in an ideal world, when you see this, you would approaching laser to about this distance, and then like do like one more laser probably to like here, and then try to fight her. Like your goal is to kind of like lock her down in a specific position and then space yourself correctly to fight her in that position. So when you're doing these dash dances, you're doing all these dash dance lasers, and you're like, oh, it feels like neutral game. And like against some characters, like Fox or whatever, this is fine. But against Peach, that doesn't really have a purpose to be doing these. You're not accomplishing anything. So you want to think, like, what is my goal in neutral? And like, so when you're playing this matchup, like, what is your goal? Is your goal to just like nair her and then do like a juggle combo, or what?
Yeah, I guess that's what I try to do. Like, I think part of why I feel lost in the matchup is like I don't have like a good idea of what to hit her with.
Yeah, okay. That's what it seems like. Is you're just kind of like you're playing, but you're not like trying to accomplish anything. You know, and if you're not attempting to accomplish anything and they're going to have an advantage. So your goal in these situations should be immobilize Peach. Do your best with lasers and your movement to immobilize her. Like, she's going to try to do this jump, but if you shoot another laser immediately, it'll hit her out of her jump, and then she's in this really awkward spot. And so she's doing these floats and then, like, drop down. This is pretty good by the Peach to do that, but she's also not accomplishing her goals by doing that. And so you can continue using the lasers to lock her down into a position where you can attack. See, okay, this was good. Doing this was good because you laser at this range right here, and Peach can't move out of your way, so she can either hit your move with her move, or she can like shield. And that's the thing like that makes Peach unique among the top tiers for the most part, is that she's so slow. Most of the top tiers, when they're threatened, they move back. But Peach actually can't really move back when she's threatened at a close range because all the characters are faster than her. So she basically has to fight it out or defend. And you can get these really strong mix-ups like you did there, and you get a good combo. And then once you have her here, you should continue doing the lockdown gaming. And then for things like this, where she does this, you want, like basically, it's better to throw the up tilt out early than late. When in these situations. Like trying to do this wave dash and up tilt, it's better to do it early, because they can hit you at any point with a read. So let's ignore that. But when they're doing this, you never had a chance to hit them because you tried to do the latest up tilt on reaction possible. But like, let's say they're waiting to see what you do. They're kind of waiting here, and you just throw out an early one. Then if they rush in without thinking, they're going to get up tilted. And if they wait a little bit longer, they have to try to react to the up tilt. And you have time, and like when Peach is floating here and you up tilt, she can't react to it and fall and hit you. You get another up tilt. So it's better to do an early up tilt, because then you have a chance of hitting. Like, you want to do the up tilt as if she's already dropping, like, instantly every time, without waiting for her. Because if you try to wait for this fair, you're never going to be able to wave dash up tilt in time. So like when she's here, just up tilt, and then she's just kind of like, I'm kind of stuck. And then, sometimes you can get full hop aerials and stuff once she starts, like, waiting.
Okay. Yeah, I think I try to, like... I think that's another problem I have, is that I, like, kind of try to, like, wait to, like, I don't preempt, like, anything Peach does, I feel like.
Say that again? Sorry.
Like, I don't try to, like... Because I feel like in my head, Peach is, like, just, like, this unbeatable, like, if it's, like, my hitbox versus her hitbox, it's, like... I feel like the Peach hitbox usually, like, leaves me in a worse spot than mine leaves her, if it trades. So that's kind of why I shy away from, like, just fighting, like, my move versus her move sometimes.
Yeah, okay, so this is an issue a lot of people have with Peach, and basically the answer is that you can't react to Peach's moves and hit her. Like, you can't whiff punish her. So we know that. And if you just go in, she has her moves to beat you. And that sounds like it covers all the options. But all the time that she is not spending throwing out moves, she's vulnerable, because she can't move out of the way. So, like, if you pretend... So, like, basically, tricky timings on your approaches just destroy Peach, because she can't be naring all the time. She can't be back airing all the time. She gets one guess. When you're going to approach, she basically has a guess. Do I counter the fast fall? Do I counter the no fast fall? Do I counter this dash in or the next dash in? She can't always have hitboxes out. So you can take advantage of that. And so when you're in a situation like this, when you start out, your goal should immediately be, okay, great. I'm coming back. Peach is in the corner. My goal is to lock her in the corner with lasers and then do pressure. And so you almost did it, but you way overcommit to the corner here. Because you're like, I'm coming to get her. And there's not a... Like, yeah, you're invincible, but if you still want to prevent her from getting to center. Like, just hold her in the corner. And this is not even that bad of a down air right here. This is, like, pretty fine. She just reacts really well to it. But yeah, you don't even take that much out of it. You could have, but... It's not that... See, and, like, right here again. Like, if you had just decisively up-tilted, it's not that bad.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like, basically, the way that this matchup works is that Falco avoids Peach. Like, if I play any of the really good Falcos as Peach, with the exception of Mango, okay, so there's layers to the matchup. And the first layer is Falco can just run away from Peach the entire game if there are platforms. On FD, it's a little different, so this game is maybe a bit of an exception. But usually it's kind of like, man, Falco's lasering, he's going to platform, he's coming down, and you don't have a lot of good options as Peach. And so Falco is just going to play really defensive. And especially Falco is like Squid. I used to get really annoyed playing as Falco with my Peach, because he literally just runs away the entire game. That is his strat, is to run away. And so Peach will naturally then approach Falco. And so basically the way I have to play this matchup as Peach against most Falcos is that you kind of just play this really patient floating game. You shield the lasers, and you try to just move close to the Falco, and you look for their runaway habits, and then you eventually read those habits, and you get an opening, and then you do a lot of damage. So that is, like, the main goal of Peach is basically to, like, get Falco in positions where he's running away from her, and then wait to counter his defensive options. That is her goal. And then, so, in turn, Falco's goal is do not let Peach... So, you can play Falco in a way that sort of avoids Peach, and that does work. But I do think that when Peach plays really careful around that, and just waits for the opening, that it doesn't work all the time. So when running away from Peach doesn't work anymore, then you want to start locking down Peach, where you say, well, you can't chase me if you can't move. And once you have Peach into a position you want, and you've locked her down, then Falco can kind of turn on the aggressive mix-ups a little bit. And you have a bit of preference how aggressive or defensive you want to play it. Mango and Johnny's Falcos play it pretty aggressive, and those are really difficult to deal with. Like, I can show you a video of Mango just rushing down Triff, and it looks very difficult. We'll actually take a look at that in a second. But, so you can play aggro and you can play defensive, and you just have to be really aware of, like, the reasons why you would play aggro or defensive, and, like, what the Peach has to do in response to that. So your goal here, because you can't run away on FD, your goal should 100% be to lock her down with lasers.
Okay. Yeah.
Like this. This is an example. Yeah. This is a perfect Falco Peach situation right here. If she's floating, you can take some space, you laser her landing right here. She has to take this time, you laser again, it hits her jump, and you get an opening. This is like basically what you want to repeat over and over and over, is that sequence. That is where you want to be headed.
And then like immediately after that, I guess I have a question about like the other big thing I have, besides like not having a good plan in neutral, I guess, is like the only is that like when I get hits, like I think I like have no clue how to convert stuff into kills against her, except like
you can't really convert into kills against Peach. That is the answer. If you are lucky, you'll get a kill, but usually you will not. Your kills primarily will come from edge guards with back air. So the idea is you do a big combo, you hit Peach off stage, you use... So her recovery is all about her resources, her float, her double jump, her toad, you know? These are all resources that she has to use on her recovery. And the idea is when she double jumps or floats, your laser can immediately cancel those resources. So you hit her off stage, and then you just get ready to start lasering. If she floats off stage, you can laser. If she double jumps, you can hit her out of it. She doesn't have a lot of good options to like hold on to her resources against Falco. So you just kind of keep her in an awkward position, and then eventually you'll get a back air edge guard. That is what you do. You're okay. Not, and occasionally you'll get down air kills. But like, you're not, there's not like a thing where you hit Peach and you're like, sick, it's time to confirm into a kill. The only time that happens is on Yoshi's, where you can shine off the top. In which case, this matchup is a lot easier because you have just straight up kills out of like half your combos. The other thing is people make the mistake of not up tilting enough during combos against Peach. They'll just shine and then Peach flies way out of the way. But if you up tilt there instead, you have a chance to actually down air follow up and maybe tech chase down air, back air her off stage, full hop double jump laser, 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 full hop double jump laser, 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 laser. She comes back, you get a shine stall on her umbrella and do a back air, and then repeat that. Something like that. So this is another thing that you don't want to do, is when Peach floats like this, you're like, oh no, she's floating. Your options here are like, obviously at this percent actually, you should probably just be trading a full hop back air. There's not much she can do about it. To just full hop up and back air this. Like, you can trade, and you're at 0, and she'll go way off stage or die. So it's really not that bad to back air trade here. What you don't want to do is like imagine how nice this matchup would be for Peach if Peach can float at this height and Falco's only answer was to simply corner himself. I would be so happy as a Peach player if that happened. I'd just be like, great. Jump, double jump, float at him. Falco goes to the corner, and then I get to play all these nice mix-ups from the corner. That would be great. So you don't want to give them what they want. You have to find a way around this. And you're at 0. She's at 130. She should be significantly more scared of you than you are of her at this point. Like, just in terms of, like, the percent battle. And then also, like, why? Like, there's no... What does she have here that's making you retreat? If you just stood in place here, what has she even threatened?
Right. I guess, yeah, I don't know. I guess I wasn't, like... I just wasn't considering that when I was playing.
So you have to think, what does Peach want? Peach wants to not be in the corner, and Peach also wants you to be in the corner. And so you don't want to give her that. I'm not sure if you've thought about this. Peach is one of the worst characters in the game in the corner, and I know you're like, what? She has down smash. But she only has down smash. All the rest of her moves just hit people away. So if you're, like, let's say you're at 80 and Peach is in the corner, and you nair her, and she trades with her nair. You will just simply fly to the opposite side of the stage. She starts running. It'll take her 6 years to reach the opposite side of the stage. And you just get up from the ledge and you're totally fine forever. Like, there's no threat. If you're in the corner and you nair and Peach trades with the nair, you're off stage. Peach has ways to kill you. She doesn't have to go anywhere. She's chilling right where she is because you have to come back in from off stage. So when Peach is in the corner, she is in a horrible disadvantage. Also, she can end up going to ledge. And, like, so I say this a lot to people edgeguarding Peach. Like, if you are trying to edgeguard Peach and you don't get the edgeguard, like, you don't hit her out of the edgeguard, and she goes to the edge instead, that means you won. Like, that's good. It's like, is it as good as hitting her? No. But you have such a massive advantage ledge trapping Peach. Peach has horrible ledge options. Like, terrible. So if you're ever edge guarding her and you get rid of her resources and force her to go to edge, that's a win for you. You can most likely find an opening out of that. But yeah, you really don't want to corner yourself here. This is her ideal situation.
Okay.
Like, look at how nasty this feels with you in the corner. It's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Now she's in the corner. It's like, oh yes, like I have tons of stage space. Oh, good idea with the jab back here.
Yeah, it's just like another thing where I'm not super confident. If the jab hits, like I feel like there's so many ways she can go that it's like, I think I just settled for like, well, if she drifts kind of in or doesn't move, where it's like I'll get it back here, and if not, I'll like stay safe. Is that like a good way to think about that situation?
Nah, just jab and believe.
Right.
I kid you not. Literally, just jab and be like, I'm definitely gonna back air here, like, and just go for it. Like, don't think too hard about it. Don't worry too much about it. Just jab her. She's gonna be in a spot where she gets hit by the back air. In the absolute worst case, if you just let it rip, you'll usually pretty much just get a weak back air, and then, you know, she's in the air, and you get your whole laser option removal type stuff. But, okay, like, yeah, the best thing to do is don't be like, oh, she has so many ways out of this. No. Just jab back air. It'll work. Okay.
Was it a good idea to like dash away from that turnip, or is it like?
I thought about mentioning it. It's not awful. Like, you didn't really have a lot of great, like, you were just kind of in an awkward position with the turnip. So like, it's not great, but also like I don't really see anything that was like a clear great answer there. And this does corner you, which you don't really want, but it works out fine because the Peach runs away afterward, so... This is an issue, though. Look at this. So, like, So look at this. You hit Peach with this laser right here. And, like, this is way too far away. Like, you were here. You were chilling. There was no reason to go this far away. And then, so you hit this laser, and then you dash away. And it's like, what purpose could this dash away possibly serve here, you know? Like, you want to lock Peach down, get close to her while she's in the corner, and then pressure her. Basically, you just passively pressure her while she's stuck here forever until she gets hit by something. That's the idea. And so, like, giving up all this position or giving up all this space doesn't really, like, help. And yeah, you come back in afterward, but, like, why did you leave in the first place? It's not like Fox. This feels like movement you would do against Fox, to be honest, because he's really fast, or like Marth. So you're like kind of trying to like deal with their like dashing around the stage, but you don't really have to do that with Peach. Look, she's super stuck. You just have to keep her in that one spot.
I think my like default, like when I'm not comfortable, is kind of just play every character like they're Marth or Fox, and that's why I like.
Yeah, Peach is a bit unique in that respect. So you did a couple of things that weren't that great, but this is good. Watch, laser her, and then you just nair in, and she jumps out of shield because what her only option there after shielding the laser is either to jump and therefore get hit by that mix-up you did, or to just stay there and get lasered forever in misery. That's it. She doesn't actually have like a lot of other options to deal with it. So she is gonna jump, which will eventually just let you hit her. Okay, that was good. The trade was definitely in your favor right there. Yeah. Always got to be aware of this. Wait, when you're sort of close to Peach, like, remember, you lasered her, you know she's gonna jump. But she actually power shielded in this situation. So she power shield. You see her jumping after the power shield. This is not the situation, the laser, because remember, Peach is trying to chase you. And so she's not going to like power shield this laser and then hang out. She's usually going to try to hit you. Just something to keep in mind.
Right.
Okay, let's go to the next game. Not an FD game this time. Hopefully that'll make it a little easier. Okay, so laser. Once again, you let her floating, push you into the corner. This is not good. This is where the up tilts are good. Going to the platform is good. You don't want to let her push you to corner. Like that, almost like as your overarching goal of like the whole match is you don't want to let her corner you. And the thing is on this stage, it's not as big of a deal because you can literally like full hop away and then side beat a plat and stuff, and she doesn't really have a lot of great options. But like, if you let Peach do this, like if Peach could do this and just float all the way across the stage at Falco, and he was like, I have no options, no, like there's nothing I can do, she would be such a top, like she'd be insanely strong. There's clearly like ways to deal with that. Because if there weren't, she would be too strong. So when you see her doing this, you have up tilts here, you have jump shine. Although I wouldn't necessarily recommend jump shine here, but it is an option. You can go to platform, wave land off with a laser. That's actually something that's pretty dangerous, is like just using the platforms to like laser Peach. So like when Peach tries to float like this, if you can like shoot a laser while you land onto the side platform, you know, however you're going to get it, you know, full hop up to here, short hop off, reverse laser, etc. If you can hit these low lasers, they'll a lot of times send Peach out of her float and she'll go to the ground. Then you jump off or drop off the plat with another laser and you resume like the laser locking. That's what you want.
Okay. So like another question I have actually about fighting Peach, instead of like running away, is that like, I feel like at really low percents, like let's say like I guess we're both at 0, like is it like, I feel like up tilts, I haven't really like explored it that much in this matchup, but I feel like in a lot of other matchups, like I feel like I get nothing for up tilting if they're like under like 15%. Like, is it still something I should look for? Like,
Oh, it's. I mean, if she's coming down with a float, it's great. What do you mean you get nothing out of it?
well, I feel like I don't know. I feel like against like like Marth, I'll try to like up tilt back air sometimes when they're like a really low percent, and they just kind of like I feel like I get counter hit a lot, or like the up tilt, and then against faster fallers, like up tilt. Like basically, I just I don't know. I just never feel like I get anything more than just the up tilt for like the risk of the like doing the
Right.
up tilt.
Okay, so something to keep in mind is if Peach is floating and she falls on you and you up tilt her, she is now in the air with no float. And she has a bad double jump. So if you up tilt again, she's gonna have to deal with that somehow, and she doesn't actually have great ways to deal with it. Because she's out of resources. Peach doesn't have like a Marth Fair that she can just spam. And she doesn't have a
Okay.
spacey double jump to jump out of the way. She gets kind of stuck in the air. And this is something that's important as Falco in general against Peach, is just recognizing that Peach has, like, you have the best vertical mobility in the game. And out of the top tiers, Peach has probably the worst or the second worst with Puff. She has a really hard time dealing with vertical situations. So if you catch her in the air, it takes her a long time to come down. If you catch her on the ground and you're high up, it takes her a long time to get up high. Like if you side beat a top plat, it's very difficult for her to actually get over and deal with that. So being really aware of like trapping her in the air without resources is like a big sort of thematic idea in the matchup.
Okay, yeah, I think that's just something I like don't
Like for instance, like
actively.
right here, when she does this, and like yeah, I'm not telling you should have up tilted this, but like let's say here you did up tilt, you're not gonna like you don't get a combo, right? Like if she up tilts here, but she has no float and no double jump. So when you up tilt her, what's she gonna do? If she falls on you, you can up tilt her again. If she air dodges, you have a chance to hit her. Or like I
Uh-huh.
mean, so you hit her with this back air. Notice how she just sort of falls. Because she jumps, she float, or she might not have floated, but oh yeah, she does float. She floats and she used her double jump. So you hit her with this back air. This whole time when she's falling to ground is basically like dead space. She can't play the game while she's doing this. Yeah, she could throw out a nair or whatever, but that's not gonna beat a lot of spacings on the things you do. So like this whole time period is literally dead space, and that happens like often.
Okay, I see.
Or like right here where you laser her right here out of this. If you up tilt right here, that's pretty good. You could also dash back, dash in, like aerial or something, because what is she gonna do? Her only option is either fall with total dead space, in which point you can shine her or up tilt, or she throws out a move. And so if you just dash away and then dash back in, you'll be able to punish the landing lag here. It's just I need you to be very aware of the idea that like if she's falling, it's very awkward for her. She doesn't have a lot of stuff. Okay, so right here, you do the up tilt I was talking about, where you do it early, and she hits you. This will happen sometimes, but the idea is that by doing this up tilt, she no longer gets to float and instantly drop on you. That is the point. Yes, sometimes she will hit you out of this. But most of the time, like, by the fact that she knows that you now do this up tilt, this whole time you could have hit her. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, like, the fact that sometimes when you go up here, I'm going to do this instant up tilt, and it's difficult for you to react to. She does, and she gets it from this height, but it's pretty precise to hit that. So she hits this, and, like, and she's also not as high up as she was in some of those other ones. So the idea is, knowing that you'll do this, she's gonna like wait before she lands on you. She's gonna wait for your up tilt from now on, pretty much. And you can use that to either move out of the way and laser, or go for her in the air. You don't want it to feel like she just gets that position for free. Because if you think about it, if you do both of them, it's like if you both sometimes attack and then sometimes do the up tilt, then she's in a situation where if she waits, she could get hit. And if she doesn't wait, she could get up tilted. You know? And so you've now presented a potential danger for her in both of those cases. And then you can work in more nuance about when you up tilt and when you hit her. But there is no situation of like, I can just wait out the up tilt and be fine, or I can just float at him and he moves away. Like, every situation that Peach creates needs to at least be a potential loss for her, even if it's not guaranteed. Because a lot of times, it's enough. It's enough to make her play honest. Or, like, more honest. Okay, so, like, when you're in a situation like this, and Peach is doing this float, this is what I was mentioning before. Lasering on the platform right here is really, really strong. This is also not a bad laser, but the height doesn't really line up with the height she's at. And that's why I normally say try to land on the platform with a laser. It'll cancel this. And then, so look at, this is that same thing again, where when you hit this laser on her when she's falling right here, she's a total sitting duck right here. You can just turn around up tilt this, easy peasy. Because she doesn't have anything. She can't double jump away. She doesn't have options there. She's forced to just kind of fall on you. Or air dodge.
Okay.
And this was not bad by the Peach. This was pretty good. I would say you can maybe just like do another short hop back air here. I think she just kind of hit you out of it. Like your back air wasn't early enough. But that's pretty much the correct solution to that height, I think. It's just a back air it again. Okay, and then for this, you don't want to up tilt when you're in front of Peach like this. This is bad because like she went in exactly when you wanted her to go in, but she still didn't get hit because that's not where the hitbox was. And maybe if you had done a reverse one, it would have hit there. But like generally in that situation, you're not trying. If you can't get directly underneath Peach, the up tilt becomes like slightly more questionable, and a lot of times you can just sort of like hang out. Like, the thing is like, okay, if you're here, and Peach, like, you want to think about it from, like, the perspective of, like, don't think about it as the perspective that, like, Peach is sort of inherently covering these options. You have to think of, like, the Peach is, like, you're not trying to find openings in the Peach. The Peach is trying to find openings in Falco. That is, like, the big mental idea for this matchup. Is like Falcos would be like, man, I'm trying to open up Peach with my aerials. It doesn't work. And it's like, yeah, you have to think about Peach is trying to open you up. And if you have the threat of this up tilt and you just kind of stand here, she has to like hard commit. And she could get messed up if you just dash away through her here. And then, you know, up tilt, or sorry, like, yeah, you could do an up tilt, like wave dash up tilt, or you could like dash dance down air on her landing or something like that. So actually, let me, just to give a little bit of a better explanation for this, let me bring up that mango set I was talking about. He just sort of runs Triff over in this set. From what I remember, is it this one? Could be. I hope it's this one.
This is gonna play against Mango String.
Okay, so let's see if we can spot any of these situations repeating. Even though Mango plays really aggro in the matchup, he understands this matchup at a very high level. And so he's at like a layer beyond the layer I'm talking about here. Where like he knows how to protect himself from Peach. He knows what Peach wants and what Peach is like sort of going for. And he can fight against that. And he knows when to be aggressive. And so you can, if you study this, you can definitely be aggressive like him. But just like, okay, so here, this is sort of the thing I was talking about, where, like, if you hit this, you're like, okay, I hit this, and it's not a true combo, But I go for this up tilt anyway because Peach doesn't really have options. And then when she air dodges, which is her only way out, there's extensions here. And notice that he's not drill shining. He goes for this shine. It's early percent. But notice after this, a lot of Falcos would shine here. And Peach will literally just fly off stage, and you don't have any advantage at all. So he goes for this back air, and doing another up tilt could have been fine also. But notice that he's not going for those shine combos. And there's this up tilt. It's a little bit unique because of the platform. Getting Peach in the... So he's using the fact that Peach is in the corner to apply pressure. And then, yes, sometimes you get the down air. Sometimes you just get it. Doesn't happen all the time, but when it does happen, it's nice.
Okay.
Okay, using the vertical space here. Vertical space to avoid Peach. Then, notice, he gets this laser. I feel like after this first laser, you would have, like, hung out here, maybe. Or you wouldn't have approached in a way. So basically, he's using the fact that it's a small stage. Now Peach is in the corner. And then he starts pressuring. And he just starts doing sort of... You can just kind of aerial at her as long as you don't space too badly. And you'll have a good opportunity to beat her up there. Oh my goodness. He's just kind of nasty. Doing those downers is crazy. Okay, so here we go again. Look at this. So Peach comes back. He like, through, you know, whatever play of neutral that happens here, Peach ends up in the corner. He's instantly just lasers in place, shield. You know, thinking Peach might dash attack out, wave dash back, and he's just sort of pressuring. It wasn't a great aerial, but he's just using this, like, look at this pressure he's doing. Like, there's a million ways to do this, but the idea is that Peach doesn't have a lot of options, and Triff tries to move back here and still gets hit, because Peach doesn't really have a lot of good backwards options. And he's not getting crazy, crazy damage off these combos. He's keeping Peach locked down in the corner, and then performing pressure. And then when she's not in the corner, he's using the vertical space. So actually, let's skip past this game to a game on a bit. So, oh wait, let's go FD. Because this is the one we were looking at for you. So notice that he's not retreating after these lasers. So let's get to the very beginning of the game. So he starts out, he takes center. He goes for a little bit of aggressive laser play. But notice that he's just sort of lasering here in center. He's not giving up space. It's just pure, like, I'm pressuring you head on. And then, okay, he gets this. Peach is in the corner, abusing the fact that she can't come to the ground. So look, double jump, float. If she comes to the ground, she's in danger of getting laser up tilted or whatever, and she gets stuck in that dead zone space. So he's sort of using that to sort of be like, well, she doesn't want to come down, so she's probably going to keep floating, and then he gets potential pressure here. Oh, he's kind of in the corner. Okay, he's kind of pressuring. Mistake. There's using the lasers to get rid of her offstage options. Oh, Triff messes that up. Sometimes you'll get the downer. When it happens, it's like, nice. Not going to happen too often, though. Okay, Peach is trying to... Okay, I'm going to skip the chain grab. Okay, comes back. Trying to pressure in the corner. He plays a little too aggro, I think. But it is within the realm of possibility that it's okay to do that. The important thing is that he's pressuring Peach in the corner continuously. And he's trying to keep her sort of, like, stuck there. Like, he's really good at not using necessarily only lasers to keep her stuck in the corner. He's also using the threat of his aerials to keep her stuck in the corner. He's not letting Triff... Like, you notice, like, man, it's weird. Triff isn't going for these high floats, you know? Like, that was kind of bothering you. And the reason is that if he does, Mango is just going to be there with either a down air falling on him, an up tilt, or a laser. Like, those options don't... It doesn't lead to favorable conditions for Peach, so he's not going to be doing it. Even if sometimes it would work out. He's going to be going for the situations where he has... Oh, yeah, then you can do that.
That shine was crazy. I would have thought Peach just, like, hits me for that down air.
Mm-hmm. And notice that he's just keeping her in the corner. He's fine with her being at ledge. He's fine with this. He's not trying to punish it because she doesn't have a lot of options.
Okay.
He's just sort of keeping her cornered, keeping her in the air. Like, wow, what a dumb down air. Not really. Peach doesn't have a lot of good options there. And then, yeah, so look, he hits her out of this. He could have up tilted here, too. So he catches her out of this. And it's kind of like, wow, like, you can literally just do that? And it's like, yeah. So this feels weird, right? Full hop naring like this. Because you're like, well, this would never work against Martha Fox. But the idea is Peach's vertical is so bad, Falco can heavily abuse his vertical. So you want to keep that in mind. That you can do things with verticality that you wouldn't think you could do. Because Peach is so slow vertically. So slow in every direction, actually. I noticed basically these entire matches, Mango has not been in the corner at all. Triff is in the corner. Falco has the ability to make Peach move out of his way by locking her down, and then... Oh my goodness, Mango. Okay, we'll watch one more game of this, and then we'll go back to yours. But I think this is more instructive a lot of times than to watch that. Okay. So, I just want to see if we can see the concept come up. And you're going to drop stocks like that. It'll happen. Notice, Triff is off stage. Goes for this float. Mango or the double jump. Mango catches the double jump with the laser, and then is instantly pressuring. Triff is in the corner. Using vertical space to take center. Then, as soon as there's vertical space, pressure Peach in the corner. Or, sorry, use the vertical space to take center, and then pressure Peach in the corner.
Right.
And so, like, it is a little messy. Like, this set is a little messy. It's very difficult to play against Peach and have no messiness. Avery or Ginger has a pretty good way of playing against Peach with the lasers. Like Mango, like I said, Mango is a lot more on the aggressive side of this matchup. And if you watch someone like Ginger, Peach. Sure. Let's watch this really quick. Okay, we're gonna go to Yoshi's where we were before. Actually, is there an FD game in here? Let's see. Okay, there's an FD game. Let's just watch that really quick and see. Ginger will use much more of the laser lockdown style than Mango does. So watch this. Laser, 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 laser. Oh, and he gets into that range. Remember I mentioned that range? You get into that little range with the laser where Peach can't move back. Okay. Right here. And this is exactly the range that I pointed out, because if she tries to wave dash back, the down air will still hit you. Or will still hit her. So it's a good range to pressure. Now Peach is in the corner. Use the lasers to drain her resources. Keep her in the corner. He messes up and gets grabbed, and now we wait for a 30-second chain grab. It happens. Okay. So, new stock. Let's see what he does. So, yeah, he ends up in the corner here, but he does a really good job of getting out of it. Like, it's not ideal to be there, but it was good the way he dealt with it. Like, I would have, like, Peach is invincible here. It's kind of difficult not to get cornered sometimes. Like, he kind of already ended up in the corner. And so the way he plays out of it is he just gets her to commit, and then he goes in. And it's just sort of, it's definitely a mix-up. It's not something super guaranteed, but, okay. So look at this. He uses the laser to guarantee a Peach position. Peach is here. He sees the spot dodge. Peach is guaranteed here, therefore I can punish. Or pressure. Then okay, laser again. He gets into that range, dash dance, and he gets the pressure. Just holding her in the corner with the lasers, using vertical space, vertical movement to pressure her. Because she's so bad vertically. And yeah, you can do this type of thing too with the backers. I think this is really solid. Like that. That's really good when she's in the corner. Alright, so watch. This stock, I guarantee you, Ginger will go for a laser lockdown. He will get in that specific range. Vertical movement to get out of a bad situation. So look, he's going for the lasers. He wants these laser lockdown. I don't really like how much he's going to the corner here, but he might know something about it that I don't. I don't think it's very great. But he's going for this laser lockdown. So look, so notice that he's not dash dancing between these lasers, really. He just hits them, and he goes, okay, laser, laser. He's doing dash backs. Laser, laser, laser. Gets the lockdown, and then attacks. That is, like, the part that I want to show you. Is the fact that it's, like, laser, 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 laser. Oh, now I attack. So if we go back to this, what we want to see is laser lockdowns here. And if you're stuck in a bad spot like this in the corner, you don't want to shield, you want to vertically escape, like by jumping. She can't really punish it.
Okay. Yeah, I think part of... Do you think it's, like, not worth it to shield even if they're... Like, because I see the fair, like, start really high, and I think, like... I don't know for sure, but I feel like it should be punishable.
No, shielding the fair is not the play. Shielding the fair is, like, what Peach wants. Shielding the fair is what happens when you run out of options and you panic, so you shield it. It's like, it will happen, but you don't want it to happen.
Okay.
Okay, let's grab another game. And I feel like this lesson has been a little bit all over the place. There's a bunch of things to look at, but it's because I feel like there's not... Like, I'm sort of just giving you a bunch of useful things because there's not one way to play the matchup. It's mostly there are general ideas about Peach that you need to think about, and then you can sort of abuse those in whichever way you feel is best. It's very preference-based in that sense.
I think that's really helpful, because I kind of just, like, had nothing to start, so it's like...
Okay. Yeah, this isn't... Like, what you're doing here isn't bad. You gotta watch out for the... Like, this Peach is basically getting away with fairs. Like, notice that when you watch those manga or the Polar sets, not a single time did they attempt those fairs. Like, not once. And the reason is that they've been punished for them way too many times. So once you start punishing those fairs, they're gonna happen a lot less. With, like, the up tilt. Because Peach is not looking to get up tilted there. It puts her in such a bad spot to the point where she can almost lose, like, a whole stock out of it. Because she's just stuck in the air with no float, and she just kind of gets juggled. Good use of vertical space. Or vertical movement, I should say. And so the thing is like, on FD, Peach can kind of get Falco into the corner with the float stuff. But on these stages, anytime Falco is threatened, he can simply go to the top plat by using his vertical movement. And so Peach doesn't have as effective ways to, like, pressure Falco. And so she ends up kind of chasing him for really long periods, where it's like Falco's trying to lock down Peach, and Peach is trying to chase Falco. And every time Peach makes a little breakthrough, so she's doing a better job at chasing Falco than he is at locking her down, he just kind of gets away and resets the situation. And it's very frustrating for Peach to deal with. So yeah, so you're getting this. You have the first lock here. You get this. But then there's not like an intent to trap her there. It like, if there was more of an intent, I think you would start seeing ways to deal with that better. Rather than, like, you do this laser and then you do this dash dance here after the laser, and that allows her to simply escape your pressure. Like, it seems like a small detail, but it's pretty important, because you laser again. If you had immediately lasered again here, there's a good chance it would have hit her while she's jumping. And then you'd have a really strong pressure, like right here, jump, laser, there's a good chance this could hit her. Once again, when you're in a position like this, you can go for lasers on the platform to hit her out of this float. Like, basically, you know where Peach wants to go, and you know where you want to go. And the difference is that you have lasers, and you have vertical movement, and you can use vertical movement and lasers to make the match you want to play, and not the match that Peach wants to play. So basically, like, when you're playing this matchup, it should feel like Falco wins the matchup. If it doesn't feel like Falco wins the matchup, you need to consider, am I using my lasers and vertical movement in a way that shapes the game towards my favor? Because yes, there are ways that Falco can play this matchup where Peach wins it. And so if it's starting to feel like Peach is wins the matchup, then you need to play the matchup in a way where Falco wins the matchup. And he wins the matchup by abusing those two things. Well, okay, yeah. Also cornering Peach. So it's cornering Peach, getting Peach stuck in the air, using vertical movement, and using lasers. That was good. That's what you're supposed to do to Edgeguarder. And Falco can actually hit Peach pretty hard once you know the combo tree. She doesn't just get out of the way. Once you know to use like up tilt and stuff to combo more. Like when I play Magi with my Peach, she combos Peach really hard. It's like 2 openings per stock. It's pretty rough. Oh, this is good. So this was good until you went in. The thing is, what you want is a shield. You want Peach to shield a laser. Once Peach shields the laser, it's time to pressure. So you're doing this, and you have her doing this, and this is good pressure here. And then you get this laser, which is good. And then you kind of miss the opportunity to do the pressure, and you go for a down air as if she's just kind of standing here. And I know maybe it's like a little vague, but like there was clearly an opportunity here to do something. And you have to just get used to pressuring with laser in a way, like there's just these gaps in your lasers are just too big. Like the gap in your pressure, I should say. So like look at the timing on this pressure gap. So it's like, okay. So we go laser. Great, she lands. This is a great position for Falco. She's in the corner and she just had to land. She lost a bunch of frames. Laser again. Maybe not the ideal range to laser, but you know, if she dashed in and dash attack, maybe it's not a bad laser. It's fine. Laser. Second laser at a really good timing. This is good. She's forced to power shield it. She misses a grab. You do this, which is kind of okay. You could do another laser here, actually, and that would put her in that perfect range to pressure. So you do this down air. I'll count that as pressure. Then she does this wave dash down. You catch her out of this. This is that same situation, right? Like nothing has really changed from a second ago. You're still pressuring her. But then when you do this, there's no pressure during this time. So she just gets a jump out. If you had immediately gone with this aerial, instead of doing that dash dance, like the thing is because like usually you want to do this dash dance so that like, you know, maybe Marth up tilts, you know, and then Marth up tilts and you go, aha, I got an opening, and you hit him. But you're not going to be able to whiff punish Peach for doing anything except dash attack. So doing this dash dance trying to get Peach to commit to something doesn't make a lot of sense. Your goal is to keep Peach stuck by constantly applying pressure and then eventually committing to pressure that you think will hit. So these gaps in the pressure, normally they're good against a lot of characters because you're waiting for them to sort of whiff out of the corner. And it's what I tell people to do against Marth. But Marth is one of the most whiff punishable characters in the game. And Peach is probably the least. And so those gaps in your like waiting for Peach to commit is accomplishing a lot less. So here's an example of when you didn't have a gap in your pressure. Laser, 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 and then you nair in. And she never had a chance to get out of the pressure and go do something else. That's the point. And yeah, you mess with the pressure and you die. But still, that is the critical idea here, is that there was no gap in your pressure. And if you had down aired here, you would have suddenly had this big combo on her. Because you're not giving her time to jump out here. She wants to jump out. But if she jumps out of this right here, she'll get hit by this laser. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I my default. Like, I think it's just like I wasn't playing the matchup correct. Like, I gave Peach too much respect in like a lot of ways, I think.
And sort of you didn't have like a super solid like game plan.
Yeah.
So we're about at an hour, and I don't feel like we necessarily like found one little thing to like hammer on. That happens in some of my lessons. It's more of like generally understanding what Peach's weaknesses are, and then how to generally play in a direction that will be more Falco favored. And I think that's kind of what you needed here.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like I went into this just wanting to get like a direction kind of. So I think I got that. But I do have one more question.
Yeah, of course. Any extra questions, just let me know.
Like, so I know you mentioned like Shine being bad, and I feel like I've had that. Like that's kind of like a thing I realized. Like I think after this session, I was like, there were a couple of times where I would Shine. It might have been this guy, it might have been another Peach I played in the same period, but like, so I kind of like landed on that like I want to convert more off of like up tilts or like aerial into up tilts, but when like Peach is shielding in the corner or at like high percent, I feel like Peach is like to shield more. Like I feel like I have to make a choice kind of between like if I want to pressure the shield, it's like yeah, I can aerial Shine to like be safe from shield grab, or like, but at the end of that, like even if the Shine hits, like I get nothing.
Well,
and like
if she DIs in on the Shine, you get something, right? Because then you just go way high up and then you hit her. Because she goes, like, let's say if she goes straight up out of the Shine. You get something out of that.
Okay, because I feel like there are times when that literally happens, and I should say I like aerial Shine grab or like aerial wave Shine like back, and like I wanted to ask if I should just be like assuming that the Shine will hit sometimes and like full hopping, or if that's like giving up.
You don't need to full hop immediately. You should be able to wave Shine and still hit Peach.
Okay.
Like Mango was doing that on FD against Triff. Like you remember, you saw that one pillar combo. We mentioned it where you were like, "Whoa, that was a crazy Shine."
I think I was talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, in the Mango video that we watched, he does like a pillar combo on Peach on FD, where he does Shine down air, like Shine back air or something like that. And so, like, you can clearly, definitely follow up after Shine if Peach is on, like, over the stage. Like, you can for sure get it. If you're not getting it, it's probably just, like, an issue of precision or timing somehow. And if Peach DIs the Shine off the stage, then you have, like, the off-stage / corner pressure with the lasers and stuff like that.
Okay. Wait, I just think... I think I'm talking about situations where like really high percents, like 120 plus type. That's still the case?
Yeah, because you're not going to get anything off of the Shine there.
Yeah. Like worth shield pressuring. Like I saw Ginger just do a bunch of back airs. Like
yeah, I think that's usually better. Like just sort of like I think Wes used to do this a lot in like 2015, and it works really well, where you just sort of do like jab to look for the jab confirm into back air, and then you do dash back shield stop short hop back air wall, and then jab again. Like that sort of mix up is like becomes a lot more powerful at those higher percents.
Yeah, because that's kind of like what I do to high percent puff already. So I guess I can try that.
It's basically like so you have the jab back air and you have the back air wall. Both of those things will become significantly stronger once you learn like the lockdown pressure. Because then you're just adjusting your lockdown pressure with jab and short hop back air instead of nair and down air.
Right.
But it's the same neutral game sort of pressure and movement, and then you're just instead using different moves out of it. It's not that different in terms of like gameplay or like the way you're trying to move around Peach and hit her is not very different. So when you get better at moving into the correct ranges against Peach to pressure her, then jabbing and back airing there will feel pretty natural. It shouldn't feel awkward.
Okay.
And
Cool.
okay, yeah, so if you have any additional questions or you have a clip that doesn't make sense to you or something, feel free to send it to me. Otherwise, I'll send you my payment info in a second. So, hope you have a good one, man. Nice talking. Hope to see you at Verdugo again after this is all over.
Yeah, same.
All right, peace.
Take care.